I'm walking to Bangkok Park from my hotel. It is now 9:30 a.m. Whew, yesterday the amount of food I had was a lot. Smoked a lot. Not even a lot, it's just I have no tolerance, so I was crazy. I was asleep by 7:30 p.m. I had 2 coffees, had 2 iced Americanos yesterday, and then fell asleep. And it was 7:30 and I woke up maybe 4 or 5 times in the night. Went right back to sleep every time. And 12 total hours. 7:30 a.m. this morning, finally get up. So I caught up on sleep, which is good, but crazy. So today, no breakfast, gonna chill for now. I don't need any more food in my body, just gonna have a walk in Bangkok Park, my favorite park here. I asked for late checkout, they say 100 baht per hour. I mean, I could extend 1 hour for 100 baht, that would be no problem, so we'll see what time it is, but should be fine. And we're headed to Pattaya. Tien. Some more food here. Better street food on the other side of the street, opposite Bangkok. And even on the small street next to there. It's around a 25-minute walk to get to this park just because there's no direct path. It's like you have to go all the way to the intersection, walk, and then walk all the way back down. So what could be a 10-minute walk if there was actually a direct path to the park. Yeah. Beautiful. Not super sunny today. We don't really have the sun out, but very cool weather, which feels great. Oh, looks great. Love walking in this park in the morning. Or anytime. Sunset too. This park gets pretty amazing sunsets, to be honest. Separate bike paths for walking. I feel great today though. I don't ever sleep that much. So yeah, today's a travel day. We'll check the buses, check the taxis. I think it's going to be a little pricey for a Bolt. I mean, sometimes you get it for $30 US. It's not bad. All the way to Pattaya, hour and a half, 2 hours. But the bus is usually a better option, cheaper option, and it doesn't take that long. It takes 2 hours. So, let's see. We got a truck coming here. Have to see about renting a motorbike as well in Pattaya. Oh, that's the easy way. No, actually they're picking up garbage, so that's worse. But yeah, just gonna have a little walk out here for a moment. I've decided that I will be fasting for 3 days. Just to kickstart getting back to healthy cooking every day and clear my body of some toxins from the last 2 days. 3-day fast. I haven't done it in a long time. Usually the first day is just the most difficult because your body's craving food, releasing chemicals, saying, eat now, give me carbs, whatever. But I think it's doable. So 3 days, maybe more if I feel it. If I could do 5 days, that'd be awesome, but that's difficult for me. So let's see how it goes. I think my body could use it because every time I've done it in the past, 3, 4, or 5 times, probably 4 times, I've had like the best results, felt the best I've ever felt. And when I go back to eating, my digestion is much better, much faster. I lose all the bloat that I have, and so it's helpful. I have more energy as well. So see It's the plan, 3-day fast. Beautiful park. It's a massive park as well. It's not just this circle with the huge lake. You know, there is like another side to it. I don't know how many of you have been here or know. I know a lot of my viewers are from US and Canada, UK, and Australia. But I think I have some Thai followers as well. But, you know, it's just a huge park. There's a complete other side with walking paths that kind of go in the air and are lit up at night. And you can see a really nice sunset from various spots in this park. It's like, it's nice. But for me, I just like to have a huge path to walk. You know, it's kind of like an undisturbed path. Even when it gets like a bit busy here, it's never an issue. You know, it's kind of a good feeling being around other people who are being active as well. You know, feels good. It helps motivate you a little bit. And sometimes it's nice. So it depends what time you come. Evening time, like sunset time, is definitely way more busy, always busy. But now to live around this park is not so cheap. Like during pandemic, I was staying in this area in a really nice hotel, like sometimes the Hilton, sometimes like renting an Airbnb, and yeah, it was so cheap. I will say for a month I was paying like at times like $350 to $500 US in a place like the Hilton. You know, it was just like really cheap then. There wasn't enough tourism to stimulate any. They didn't have bookings, you know, and so they were like, let's just make the prices $10 a night, even though we usually do 100 or 110. So that was good. Now I feel like hotels directly near the park specifically, or condos, it's like, yeah, it's impossible. It's not worth it to me to pay. But I don't mind being 20 minutes walking away. It's not so bad. I think even if I looked for like a condo to live in where the hotel I'm staying is now, I would have trouble finding something in my price range. I would like to find something, you know, in the $200 to $350 US per month range. That is like a good range for me. The lower the better, and will just make it easier, less stressful long term, having a lower amount for my rent. I've learned that from my last place in New York, which, you know, sparked me to leave and come to Thailand to begin with. I mean, it was just so expensive, and it gave such a level of stress. $3,000 US per month. I mean, in Brooklyn, and essentially like a studio, a lofted studio, but still, I mean, 3,000 is bizarre. So I think that's around 100,000 baht more, you know, per month. To get something like that here would really get you something much nicer, something crazy. 2-3 bedrooms and just like super nice place, you know, crazy view. I think to get something like that would cost that in New York, like in Manhattan, you'd end up spending like 10,000 a month, 20,000 US a month. So I'm sure you can also find those crazy luxury units in Bangkok, and it can get similar probably, but I think that's only for like the very, very high end. But I have seen apartments still on the budget range. You just have to go outside of the center. You kind of have to accept being outside of like some of the areas maybe you spend time in, or you can't be near Benjikiti Park, you can't be near Lupiti Park. And so, you know, you kind of have to accept I have to accept not being like super close to those things if I want to live in Bangkok. But for now, I'm gonna like more stay long term in Pattaya. Just take trips to Bangkok here and there, just because of the price. And if I find I can start earning more money, or if this channel gets monetized and I start earning money from it, maybe I will be able to afford to live in Bangkok, somewhere where I would like to live. I can go very on the outskirts and afford it, but I don't want to go that far. But I would be willing to live outside the center, 15 minutes, still be close to the BTS somewhere. I would do it. Just I haven't found much, and I got tired of looking. It's just that much easier to find something in Pattaya short term, so that's where we're headed. But that's where the votes were anyway. I did a community post on YouTube. I think now there's like 40 plus votes, and while it is close, the winner was Pattaya between Bangkok or Pattaya. So I think it was like 55%, 45%, or yeah, something like that. Not too far off. That made the choice like actually easier, because then I was like, okay, then let me just choose which one I want, or which one makes sense with my finances right now, and people will still be pleased because it's pretty down the middle. So that's good. I have a spot that is walkable to the beach in Pattaya. It's not as close as I was before. Before I was right on Soi 7, which I actually said I didn't prefer because it's still like a party street. It's like one of the bar streets. So if I can be a ways away from an actual bar street, but still close to the beach, that's a plus for me. So just going a little deeper into Jomtien and a little bit away from where I was, but still close by. So I do need a motorbike. I know I will need to get one, and I'm gonna have to cheap out a little bit and just go with a smaller bike this time. As much as I love the NMAX, it's just a little too much money. It's like 150 US per month. And so I'm just gonna go with one of the cheapest things I can find, which should be in the 50, 60, 70 US dollars a month range. Hopefully like 50, that'd be nice. But yeah, haven't been out here in quite a while, because last time I came and kind of went straight to Pattaya. I didn't even spend any time in Bangkok, didn't make any content in Bangkok. So I had started the channel once I was already in Pattaya. So I tried to record a good bit yesterday, as much as I could while I was here. And I did until I was knocked out. So crazy, I drank 2 coffees after months off of caffeine, and I still just knocked out for 12 hours. Just gonna head off to the other direction from the park. Still in the same park, but on the other side. Let's see. Didn't change too much, except now you can ride boats in this part. Down there, on that end, you can take little pedal boats, which did not used to be. This part is just kind of like a jungly nature feeling to it. It's like these weird gazebos, whatever they are. Water. Groundwater. They have like some exercise machines in here, essentially like gym equipment, stuff like that. There is now a Benjikitty dog park, which I had not seen before, so I guess it's relatively new. Huge. This just goes all the way back until it's like a little field for the dogs, but it's just like this scenic, garden style area. Water, a lot of greenery. Someone taking a nap over there. But yeah, somewhere to take your dogs. That's nice. I don't know if that means you can't bring your dogs into the other parts of the park or not, but probably. Can't smoke, you cannot vape in any of the park areas either. I'm sure people do sneak it, but you shouldn't. You can get fined like 5,000 baht or something. So probably shouldn't. To leave in about 2 hours. Just gonna check out the other side of the park that I was talking about before. Very lush greenery. I remember my first time coming to this park was like only like maybe 2 years ago. I mean, they had only just built it. It's pretty new-ish, but maybe 3 years ago. I don't remember at this point. It was just the craziest sunset I've seen. It made me really fall in love with Bangkok in a different way that day. Just like, I don't know, I was like, to get this feeling in a city, in a big city, it's pretty nice, you know? The biggest drawback a lot of times of being in a big city is you really can't get that hit of nature. You know, I just never saw sky colors like that and on a nice skyline, like with a lot of greenery around it. That felt good for me. I like that. Just to be able to walk and have clean, clear paths for walking, also like huge. Lumpini Park is also really nice. Much older park. Definitely, yeah, really nice but expensive also to live around. So, and I feel like it's a little bit further, not too far though. Like if you find a place there, it'd be great to live, to be honest. Maybe there's just a little bit more over here in terms of restaurants, shopping. You kind of have to walk all the way around. Maybe there is another entrance that I don't know about, but there's fences on, like, separating each of the two sides of the park. So I don't really know. As you can see here, no smoking, no vaping. Fine, 5,000 baht. So I had bought in a few vapes in Bali, maybe 4 vapes in my time there. Each time I would go out and I would use the whole thing in a single night, and it would make me feel like hungover or just not great. So no more vaping. I left all the vapes there because one is a refillable one, and yeah, I would rather not start any type of nicotine habit now. So I think it was a nice little replacement to have something for a couple nights out, but yeah, not long term. I don't want to keep smoking it. I don't really want to smoke anything regularly. I think that's mostly where I'm at. It's just like I would like to use something more sparingly. I don't want to wake up and use something. I don't want to feel like I need it, anything like that. But oh, so there's an entrance right here. There you go. You can cut through much easier. I will still use like weed here in the evening, or maybe go some days without using it. Let's see. We'll see how just using it in the evening works out initially. This part of the park is quite nice. It's like you're just surrounded by trees. Good for bikes too, a lot of bike lanes. Pretty quiet, relatively quiet. Yeah, like 10, 15, but that's good. I mean, better. at least early. Birds, a lot of bird sounds out here. We just walk out through the other end. There is another part of the park. Third part. This is the part with the like little skywalk things. They just light up really cool at night. They did the lighting really well over here. So I'd say it's equally or more interesting at night over here for sure. It can be really nice taking a walk through this part at night. You can see the raised walkways. That's what's typically lit up really crazy. Unfortunately, I won't be here to do a video of it, but didn't really think about it. Would have done it last night. I filmed a good bit yesterday. Should be 2 different videos. And today, I'll probably keep just one long vlog, one long travel day. But depends how long the initial part of my day is in Bangkok and how much video I get. You know, we'll see if this is the Bangkok to Pattaya travel vlog or if this is just the last morning in Bangkok vlog. So peaceful over here. Whew, starting to get a little bit hungry, work up an appetite, but that's how it's going to be today. I'm going to be starving by tonight for sure. And then tomorrow as well, might be quite hungry, but let's see. Usually by day 2, a little bit into day 2, or day 3 at least, it starts to feel easier. You don't crave food during the fast. After more time, the beginning is the hardest. So I think it's been a good year and a half, maybe year and a half since I did a proper fast. And I think it was 3 full days, and it felt great. You know, I used to talk to the people in my tattoo studio. They would hear it constantly because they see the way that I eat, and I was doing more regular fasting because, hey, I would slip in New York City way more often and then feel like I need to get my body back to a clean state. And so I would fast. And so they would hear about it and they thought it was kind of nuts. But there's a lot of people out there now who fast and feel the benefits from it. I've started to meet people in person who are like, yeah, I'm fasting for a few days. I've met maybe another 4 or 5 people in the last year alone that do fasting in some way, like with some regularity, because it helps them a lot. All my aches and pains go away if I'm fasting, you know. It's like a night and day difference. I'm actually strong in the gym during a fast, or less likely to, you know, injure something, and I feel more flexible. So I always enjoy my workouts while I'm fasted. It's crazy. You would think maybe it's not like that. You need food for energy, but you have so much stored. You definitely don't. It almost frees up the body's ability to use what you have. You know, it's not using so much of its power digesting food, and starts allocating that toward other processes which, you know, maybe have been lacking. So I feel like it really speeds the body up. Just coming back over to the lake area here. I will do one more little lap around, and then I will exit and I'll kind of head back toward my area. Don't think there's too much else I'm going to do this morning here. I'll just go get packed up and sit on my computer for a bit. I don't really need to extend the stay. If I think of something else here, I'll do it, but no. Pretty soon heading to Pattaya. As I exit the park, I see the entrance to the dog park right on the other side. Just check out real quick what this part looks like. It looks nice. Some water over here. Don't see any dogs, but it's all right. Yeah, that looks nice. Cool spot to take your dog. A lot of walking paths here, sidewalks. It's okay, thank you. Okay, time to head back and pack up all my stuff. The room is a disaster for being there one day, just 2 nights. I mean, crazy, but that's actually why it's that messy. And you can see the morning Bangkok traffic, 10:30 a.m. to go into the center area. It's quite busy. Going the other way, not so much. Not so busy. I do think after being here, I could drive a motorbike here. It wouldn't be like a problem, but I wouldn't necessarily want to at certain hours. I'd be much more cautious to only drive not in the morning and not sunset, evening, dinner time as well. But if you do drive on the off hours, seems okay. You can also get out of the city. I think if I lived here in the long term in Bangkok, I would have a motorbike and just use it less frequently than in Pattaya. Less frequently than when I was in Bali. I was using it all the time to get anywhere. Already feels nice to be walking so much. I just feel better. I'm breathing better, to be honest. That was one thing that gets, for me, a problem is my breathing is not as sharp, if it's not as clear and deep if I'm not consistently active regularly. And during the pandemic, that was my biggest issue, not being able to work out, just sitting inside. And yeah, my breathing was just not feeling great. And even though I wasn't smoking any weed in Bali, I think during the whole time, I felt a little bit lack of regular movement. So sitting down at home and then sitting down on the bike, wanting to avoid pollution, and yeah, I wasn't properly healthy and active. And so I'm gonna make sure I am going the right way. I am. So yeah, I felt it. But just starting to walk, I walked like crazy yesterday, just being in Bangkok one day. I kind of wanted to just go all over the place, and yeah, it's nice to walk. So got my walking in. Once I'm in Pattaya, I do the beach walks. That will feel nice too. Let's see how different the weather is in Pattaya. So far, I'm happy with how not humid it feels here, how windy and breezy. I mean, it's amazing actually, compared to the weather I've been having in the last month or two, which even though it's been pretty sunny in Bali, it's so humid. So this climate feels good for me right now. Usually it's even a little bit cooler in Pattaya, being by the beach. So that will be nice. In the street you will see some options for breakfast here. Dumplings, fruits, some eggs, corn, drinks, coffee. Definitely a cheap coffee spot. 7-Eleven as well, cheap. All sorts of things. Hello.
Okay.
Thank you. Some fried fish. Some of your classics. You'll see that stuff quite often. That's probably like the most common stuff you'll see. Yeah, not the healthiest, but can be a quick, easy option. Shoe repair, bag repair. I mean, here you have some more like stuff. Chicken, squid. Here's some prepared stuff with rice, eggs, omelets. Looks good. Pork. Very good. Oh, that looks delicious. That's probably the best bet there. Something like this too. Looks good. Hello, how are you? Fried chicken. That smells really good. And here you have a ton of options. Wow. Curries. Hello, how are you? Many options. Cheap. 140, 250, 3 for 60. Not today, but nice choices. Pretty much have everything you need in that little strip. Just off of a side street of next to Benja Kitty Park. Instead of walking back to Sukhumvit and walking on Sukhumvit, this is actually faster and it's a little bit more chill walking down a side street, even though it's still busy. More pleasant, let's say. A lot of fruit vendors happening over here also too. Coffee. More food. The streets oftentimes, like I'd say the first 10 minutes you walk down them from Sukhumvit, that's where they throw a good amount of street food. Then as you get further, there's much less, you know. Again, many options here. A lot of vegetables, fish, curries. Really a lot of choices. A lot of condos. Mostly that's what's around me is condos. Some restaurants, cafes, like coffee places, you do see quite a few. Bacchus & Co. Gourmet store. Looks like a bar. I mean, bar, restaurant, hair and nail studio. Then cup of coffee. 7-Eleven on every street, of course. Have some more fried stuff here. Vegetable oil, big old pile of vegetable oil. A weed place, a lot of things. Massage. Most common places you're ever gonna see: massage, weed, and coffee cafe. Some crispy pork here. Very good. As you walk a bit further down, as you see away from the main roads, more on the sides it's going to be just condo buildings. Some restaurants, big spa here, but a lot less lively. It gets more quiet, and you'll notice just a lot of condo buildings on each side. It's surprising just how many condo buildings there are with a ton of units. It's a restaurant. Like so many places with tons of units in each building, and they're still so full. Like they're not really full. There's definitely ones that have a lot of available spots, but the market is still like relatively high for how many condos are available. There's always units available. I mean, I bet a lot of these buildings are half full. But then there are other ones which are more esteemed or highly regarded, or just have a spot in the market and are managing to be full, but surely not all of them. Don't know what that is. Maybe that's a home. Can't really tell. Some type of villa, homestay. You probably will find some places like that on Airbnb sometimes, or it's just somebody who's lived there for many years too. We have, let's see, it's around 10:50 p.m. Need to check out at 12. So it seems I'm actually doing perfect on time. And I do wish I was staying in Bangkok another 1, 2, 3 days. I mean, if you come to Thailand, you have to, don't just stay here for the day or something. I would stay 2 nights, 3 nights, or 4 nights. Spend some time, go around, eat the food in Bangkok, check out the parks, at the very least. You'll enjoy it. I think maybe don't stay on Khao San Road or something like that. Even staying somewhere, anywhere within the Sukhumvit area. Stay close to a BTS station, an MRT station. Really the BTS. So you want to be along Sukhumvit if you can. I mean, if you're not on a super tight budget, then it's not that hard to find something. It only gets difficult if you're like really tightening up the budget and you don't have too much to spend. Then you just have to stay a little outside and do what I'm doing. Either walk a lot or take motorbike taxis, which is usually going to be 30 baht, a little bit under $1. It gets more quiet here. It's not the best for walking. You're sort of in the streets, back to Bali style in some parts of Bangkok for sure. But the main areas are always paved with sidewalks. Now, it's not always level, and there's definitely, how do we put it, barriers, obstacles. You definitely have to be really careful walking in Bangkok. Watch the ground and make sure you're not falling into a sewer drain or something ridiculous, So only really the main areas are super sidewalk and clean, straight to walk on. Even those though, you have to be careful. In Pattaya, it's a little bit easier because you can just walk along the beach walk. The beach walk is flat and level. It's always the easiest, safest place to walk for a long time, Yeah, if you happen to live directly next to a park like Benjikiti or Lumpini, I mean, that's just amazing. Especially if you have dogs and you like to walk or run in the morning. I mean, that's perfect. I live next to a park in New York City in Brooklyn, but it's not quite the same as Benjikiti. It's, by scale, 10, 15 times smaller. It's tight here. Once we get down close to where I'm staying, you see it's pretty much all old style apartments here. There are a few random hotels, especially cheaper hotels, some which ring a bell with looking at reviews and seeing some really poor reviews. There were just a few of those places I passed that were a little bit closer, but I just remember the 6 and 7 star reviews, or 2 out of 5 stars. Particularly remember the one called Honey House. There's some names that would stick out because of the name. And then mine is here across the street. V1 Pride, Sukhumvit 22. That is the name of the place. Just kind of situated right next to some food as well, right outside of the apartment. So sorry. Getting in their way there to get some film. Right here. Good spot. I am in Pattaya. That was easy. Well, I took a Bolt taxi that was around 800 baht. After the tolls, it would have ended up costing over 500 baht to get here by bus because of the extra luggage that I had and the taxi to and from the bus station. And so I decided just take the Bolt. It was not much more. Now I'm just having a little walk. No sun today. Zero sun, but it's all right. Like I said, there's a good breeze. Hopefully the wind is not too much of a problem for the vlog. The issue, I don't really have any money for a motorbike at this point. All I had, I spent on the 1 week accommodation and saving the rest for food. I realize I need a motorbike where I'm staying because I'm not close enough walk to everything I will need. Now, I can make it work initially at least, just going to be walking a lot. But I decided to try and raise a little bit of money to actually book a monthly accommodation and a motorbike. If anybody has the means to help, I'm going to put a link down below to buy me a coffee or even my PayPal direct donation link. Either of those would really help. Thanks to the couple people who already sent me a bit of money. I've gotten like $60 US in total since starting, so that's definitely helped me out. Eventually I will give a shout out to the whole list of donators on a sort of monthly basis, but for now I'm just doing this more as a kind of one-time thing to try and help me while transitioning from this situation being stuck in Bali to now being back in Thailand. I had just wasted so much money. Had booked an Airbnb here before and a flight here, which were non-refundable. That's what really did it. And so I couldn't get that money back. I had to pay for Bali accommodations. And in that process, I just really ran my money down. So I am happy to be in Pattaya, happy to be in Thailand. So going forward, I think all will be well. I have some focus on money-making stuff with my tattoo designs that I'm still working hard on. So that's kind of my sustainable income source at the moment. $800 to $1,000 a month. Not the best, but hopefully at some point I will get monetized on YouTube and we can grow this into a bigger travel channel, a bigger style of travel vlogs, or who knows where. But yeah, at the time of this I have around maybe 415 subscribers, so I have been growing quicker again. For a little while I was definitely stagnant in Bali, and recently started growing quicker again, getting more views, more subscribers. So glad you're enjoying it and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thinking about just checking out the local market, little outdoor market. There's one I used to go to all the time on 2nd Road in Jomtien. There's not a pan in my condo to cook with. There's a full kitchen, but no pan. First time I've seen that, and there's no blanket on the bed either, which is not the best. I asked them about it, and he said, "I'll see about the pan later." It's not so reassuring, but it's something. I'm so hungry. So I'm not so happy I committed to the idea of doing a fast today. Starting to regret that, starting to reconsider that. So as much as I want to stick to it, it's TBD. Let's see if I do buy food at the market in some way to cook, then I will make something. Either way, I will go back into my carnivore diet. I'm not going to eat out anymore. But it would be helpful to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of fasting right now to kind of kickstart healthy eating again. Oh, we're here. They do have the outdoor market part as well. So already prepared foods, but can't do it. We had our fun in Bangkok. Oh, that is probably fantastic. Swadee Kap. Yeah, it looks fantastic. I usually just make my way indoors into the fresh meats. It's really accessible. It's nice to have this small market here. You can get fruits, vegetables, but also meats, pork and chicken. And the price is quite good. Definitely much better than the supermarket price. A lot of veggies here. Also fruits. Did have some dragon fruit yesterday. I treated myself to having fruit, which I never do just because I don't have any sugar, but I felt like I needed it. It was really good. There's a meat stand there. I feel like they're both pretty much the same, so can't say one is better than the other, but I like the chicken legs with the skin, and I like the ground pork as well. Looks like they also have various like intestines, blood maybe, liver. They have wings, breast, and a lot more pork options. 10 different options for pork. Yeah, the ground pork is just easy to cook, and the price is good as well. Hey, can I have a ground pork? Can I do 1 kilo? What's the price for 1 kilo? 150. Okay. All right. So 1 kilo of pork for around $4 US or something. I mean, very good. I don't know why pork is a bit more expensive in Bali. Pay for the kilo around $13, $12. So 2.5 times the amount. I don't know why. I'm gonna go ahead and pay for this now. Okay, for now, just grabbed 1 kilo of pork and a thing of salt. Some very low-grade salt for now. Costs 5 baht. It's like basically free. Okay, that should do me for the moment. I had beef tallow to cook it with at home, so I don't need to use coconut oil, buy expensive coconut oil, nor do I have to even think about using some vegetable oil. Now there is a pot, there's like a large soup pot to cook with in the kitchen, and I may have to simply cook the pork in this pot instead of a pan, but I think it can work. Not ideal, but kind of make do with what I have here. We'll see if the owner brings me a pan. I mean, it says full kitchen in the listing. Doesn't necessarily say stock, but I've never rented a unit before with a kitchen that didn't have a pan to cook with. It's the first time, so that's why I'm a little shocked. Let's see. I will be cooking this pork in this pot with this beef tallow. Should go okay, just we'll have to use a relatively low heat compared to a pan, but it will work. Also got my shower gel out here for the kitchen soap. I think it's time to treat myself to a little bit of smoke. It's about that time, folks. I mean, 4:45. Essentially the evening, I would say. You know, maybe we'll say 5 p.m. typically, but oh, that chair. I don't know about that chair. You know, I may have to bring one of the kitchen chairs out here. That is bad. These chairs are good. These are solid. Okay. Small balcony, but it's nice to have for sure. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Alright. Not quite like the sea view we had set up before in Shantian Soy 7, but okay. Well, okay. It's hard to do with one hand. It's not the worst view. It's like I have a little bit of a garden view here. I mean, it works. It works. Just very happy to have a balcony. I'm even happy to have a window at the last resort, just having a window in the room, which I did in Bangkok as well. That was plenty good for me. That place in Bangkok was great. V1 Pride, Sukhumvit 22. Highly recommended for a short stay. I mean, you could also long stay in there if you really wanted to, but price-wise, I think it's great for short stay in Bangkok. A few days, especially if you don't mind walking a bit or just relying on motor taxis. I just walked a ton actually. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have a little smoke and then cook up my dinner. Failed already, day 1 on the fast, so let's see. I shouldn't make such absolute claims like today I'm starting a 3-day fast. I should know myself better. I should either stick to something if I really want to do it, or keep it a little more loose and say I might fast today. Yeah, instead of saying I'm going to do it and then just not doing it. That's the worst option. Silly, very silly.